Hi everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn, your practical astrologer, and today we are talking about the new moon. It's on July 24. It's at 2 degrees of Leo. It's making an opposition to Pluto, a sextile to Uranus, and a trine to Saturn and Neptune. And if that sounds like it's intense, you are correct. It is. Let's talk about it. Now, before I go too much into the new moon, I did want to mention an upcoming date, and that is August 8th. August 8 is the Lion's Gate, and I've done a video in the past about this, but this upcoming Lion's Gate energy is going to be quite different. And that is because the minor grand trine is going to shift into a kite pattern because Mars will be in early degrees of Libra. That is a very intense configuration. I'm going to talk about it in a video, but I wanted to give you a heads up just in case I didn't get that video out in time, that a few days before August 8 and a few days after, and of course August 8 itself, be mindful when you are out in the world. So now let's talk about this new moon in Leo making an opposition to Pluto, and this is an exact opposition. And an opposition energy is quite different than a square. In an opposition energy, there's kind of a projection of your issues onto the other person and vice versa. And so this can, when you don't trust someone, you might think that they are not trusting you, or in other situations, this could be the thief that accuses other people of stealing, or the cheater who says that their partner is cheating. So with this new moon as an opposition to Pluto, everybody is trying to set a boundary or a border and saying, do not cross this line. And at the same time, they are crossing the line. And so the idea is that you're walking across a person's line and setting a border telling them not to cross that line. And so, of course, that's really intense energy, and we're seeing that play out in the world already. But for you personally, this could be very useful energy because as an individual, you can make choices, whereas the group sometimes can't. So the opportunities that you have are based on the sextile to Uranus, which gives you a whole bunch of other paths that you can take to your destination. And you have Saturn with Neptune, and that's a trine to this new moon. And that is the energy of having this blueprint of what it is that you want to accomplish, or the life that you're trying to create. In the world astrology, what we call mundane astrology, there is a big push to try to establish borders or boundaries. But those borders or boundaries might be in somebody else's territory. And then the other people get upset about that, and no one with this opposition is willing to compromise. But in your individual life, you can make changes. And that is that first you identify what's no longer working in your life, what is dead and needs to be buried. That's the Pluto. Then with the sextile to Uranus, you can figure out all of these new paths that are opening up for you. And then the Neptune and Saturn combination helps you establish a real direction for yourself. But the loudest voice here is going to be Pluto. So the bottom line here is that Pluto is going to reveal what it's going to take to empower you to gain what you want. Uranus then offers you different paths to get to that point, and Saturn and Neptune give you the steps in order to get there. And this is a great opportunity for you because to have all of these major planets line up with this new moon is very rare. And so over this next 2 weeks, you can make a lot of progress. And of course, if you would like some help with this and you want to know what's up ahead for you in 2025 and 2026, I do readings. There's a link in the description. Okay, Libra, this new moon is lighting up your area of friendships and community. And so you may come together with friends, you may meet new friends. All of that is great. Where the power is, where you might be too afraid to go, is on expressing yourself when that is different than the group. And that is telling people who you are uniquely. Like, this is about you maybe going against what the group says so that you can truly express yourself. And as you do that, then you gain the respect, you find the true friends, etc. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, there's no aspect going on between Venus and Uranus or Venus and Saturn, but the friendship area is strong. And so this would be more go out and meet friends, go out and be in the community. And then outside this 2-week period, you may see that love starts to form, that love starts to bubble up. So the energy here is not so much about pursuing it, but just being there so you can be found. Then when it comes to existing love relationships, it's very different. The two of you may be working on something very important together, and that is that you are both taking up arms against something that is external to the relationship. And that can be that one of you is looking for a new job, or you're both looking for a new place to live, or that you are both defending the kids in school or something like that. So there's something where if you work together, you can be super successful. Don't try to take this on alone. Now, when it comes to your money, you're pulling money from Pluto, as well as that Mars, which is in your area of spirituality and connection to the universe. And that is to tap into that resource of asking the universe for the opportunities. And that can be done in a very formal manner through meditation or journaling, or even casually, just as you're stuck on the freeway, to talk to the universe and say, I want new ideas, I want inspiration, help me solve these business problems. So think about that, because Mars is not going to be forever in your area of spirituality. It's going to continue to move on as it does, and which it's going to then be in your sign, which is even better. But right now, this is a time to be behind the scenes and really co-creating with the universe. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, there is some action you need to take during this 2-week period, and that leads directly to money. That might mean selling some investments or buying some investments. This might mean sending out invoices or a proposal, but as you take action, money comes. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, so that would be a paycheck, that new moon is helping you out. You're one of the few signs that does have a good energy around money derived from career. So this is a time where you, even though the Mercury is retrograde, where you do want to take action. Bring the topic up, set the meetings. You may have to have more than one meeting because Mercury is retrograde, but allow that to happen, because this is very good energy for making more money in your career. Okay, this is the third section of this video, and I have a couple of quick announcements, and then we're going to continue talking about finding the hidden money in your chart. I teach a free class once a month. It is on August 1st. It's at 12 p.m. Pacific time. It's by Zoom. It's called New Month Wishes, and what we do is we talk about the astrological happenings that are going to be occurring over the course of the month, and then we write our monthly wishes together, and then we do a short meditation to energize them together. The class is about an hour. It's really fun. There is a link to register in the description so you can get the Zoom link and join us. And then members of this channel get exclusive access to special videos, deep dive videos, and videos about other topics. And so if you're interested in joining and becoming a member, the join button is by the subscribe button. So let's continue our discussion about finding the hidden money in your chart. And by the way, I do have a video course on this topic. There's a link in the description. So last time we talked about finding your money planet based on the sign that was on the second house cusp. And so hopefully you now know that planet. Now you have more than one money planet, but this is the one that is associated with the second house. And by the way, if you are uncertain about which planet that is for you, you can send me your info. I will send you a PDF of your chart. Just put into the subject line that you want to know your money planet. So last time we talked about the different sources of money that could come to you based on the position of that money planet. This time, I want to talk about the actions that you can do to uncork the blocks that you might have when it comes to making money. So we're going to start with kind of an overview, and then in future videos, we can chunk down and get to more specifics. But we're going to start by dividing our chart into just 4 pieces, and that'll be 4 quadrants. So the first quadrant would be houses 1, 2, and 3. Second quadrant would be 4, 5, and 6. A third quadrant would be 7, 8, 9. And then the fourth quadrant will be 10, 11, 12. So in that last video, I outlined how to find your money planet. So hopefully you still know where that is. And so you are going to find what quadrant that money planet is in. So you're going to go to your second house cusp, look at the sign, and then find the planet that rules that sign. And I'm calling it your money planet just for the sake of this video to make it simpler. But this planet, of course, does other things in your chart, and it potentially rules other houses, it rules other things. And so, but right now we're focusing on the money side. So if your money planet falls in the first quadrant, so that would be first house, second house, or third house, then it's very important that you deal with money blocks and then take an action towards making more money. And so by money blocks, I mean there might be a fear of failure, a fear of success, a fear of talking to people about money matters, or being angry with money, or having some effects from childhood still affect you now when you are making money. All of these types of things can be considered money blocks. And then blocks like this are removed by doing things like tapping, hypnosis, journaling, talking to someone who is, doing some sort of therapy. And so once you have looked at what the block is and done what you can to remove it, then go take an action in the world. And that will really open the money floodgates. So the bottom line is you clear the issue, then take an action. And if another issue comes up, you clear that and then take an action. Now, if your money planet falls in the fourth house, fifth house, or sixth house, and that would be the second quadrant, then it is all about you interacting with others by doing the things that you do well. That is, you go do the things that bring you joy, you do the things that are helpful to others, and that opens the money floodgates for you. So in other words, if you are of service to others, if you help others, but by doing the things that you enjoy doing, that creates this joyful energy that opens the money floodgates. If your money planet falls in the third quadrant, that would be houses 7, 8, or 9, then you open the money floodgates through collaboration. And that means that as you meet more people, as you connect with people, you have more money opportunities. And so starting out, the collaboration could be something super tiny, like saying hi to someone as you pass them on the street, or helping a stranger unlock a shopping cart. But ultimately what this is supposed to lead to is to business collaborations and connections where people help you get a job, or help you get a promotion, or help you expand your business. And so basically meeting a lot of people and connecting with a lot of people opens the money floodgates for you. So if your money planet falls in the fourth quadrant, so that would be houses 10, 11, or 12, then it's about being part of the community. That's the one that will open the money floodgates for you. And so that can be everything from, going and working at the local coffee shop to actually being an influencer, or, joining meetup groups, or starting your own meetup group, going into professional organizations and doing network that way, going to conventions and conferences, or actually getting to a point where you're speaking at those conferences. But it starts with something very simple, and even like when you're stuck on the freeway, to think about all of the people and all the cars around you, and that is your community. And as you are in your community, then you are recognized, and that opens the money floodgates. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any astrological questions you want me to cover on this channel, please let me know. Consider subscribing to the newsletter. The newsletter is a weekly overview of the aspects that are going to be happening, and it has some really cute pictures of black cats. And so if you like black cats, it's really good to subscribe, and that subscription's free. And I will see you in the next video.